Yeah. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shay Renee. So let's just get into it, shall we? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shay Renee, and we are back. You can barely see Brian. We are back to discuss Divorced Sistas, Season 1, Episode 4. Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all right now, this episode got on my nerves. It got on my last of nerves, okay? And it's probably not going to be, I'm not going to have the opinion that a lot of y'all probably think I should have. Hold on one second. Let me turn this up. Got my hand all in the camera. All right. So, this thing here, I had a lot of mixed emotions about a lot of the interactions amongst the couples. It was a lot of lack of accountability on both ends. But we're going to get into it when we get into it. So the episode starts off where Naomi is coming in. She is blitzed and blazed after she done told them that she wasn't going to come. But they bring her in, sit her down, and she's like, I want to sit next to her. Why do you want to sit next to her, meaning Franklin's wife? Why would you want to sit next to this man's wife? Why? And you drunk. You look crazy. You in here acting like a freaking weirdo. Like, I just jumped right on there. What were your thoughts on this episode?
I agree. The French definitely should have stopped her at the gate.
Yeah.
Turned her around. I mean, because again, it's not new. It's not news. They know how she get when she drinks and yada yada yada. So they should never have let her sit down at the table. That makes zero sense. Come on, and they shouldn't be surprised at everything that happened as a result of having her sit down.
Yeah, I just feel like at this point, as friends, first of all, Naomi, you're not coming there to give no money at all. Let me take this. Hold on, y'all, because this is completely covering my face and defeating the purpose. The reality is, Naomi didn't come there to give no money. Okay, that's the first thing. You just came here to see Franklin. You didn't come here to support Rashida and Jefferson. You're not going to help. This is a bank. Let's make this very clear. This is a banquet where we need money. We need you to donate. Okay, so if you come in here to act a daggone fool, you can head on out with that. You can get on up out of here. That's for one thing. For two, she sees Javon sitting there next to Bridget, and she talking about how cute he is, and this, that, and the third, and he's playing into it or whatever the case may be.
Didn't you say he looks like a rat?
Yeah, but that's my opinion. I said she was.
No, I'm just for context.
That's just from that scene that he was like, we were gonna have a daughter. Like his teeth together, it gave Ratatouille. Yeah, it was rat.
Okay.
Rat looks. But, overall, I mean, he ain't for me. But moving on. Then Naomi decides to discuss, so the auction begins, right? So then we get to the part where Naomi begins to go back and forth with Franklin because they start the bidding on this 100-year-old Bible. I don't know why this Bible was $50,000. This Bible better get me into the gates of heaven, like guaranteed. Like seriously, the ladies, oh, there's a lot of prayers in here. Like, just imagine. Moving on. So then the wife is over here like, oh yes, babe, can you buy this for? First of all, she don't look 25. I continue to say that. So she's telling Franklin that they need to buy the Bible for her mother because her mother will love it. And then Franklin was like, well, let's buy it for her because she's never done anything for anybody or said a prayer for anybody in her life. I don't understand. Tell me, what are your thoughts? Why is Franklin even engaging Naomi?
Um, he don't like, again, I guess the way the divorce was handled. Obviously, most men wouldn't respect the way he handled himself, the way he carried himself. Getting on stage, doing all right. Again, guys don't give you credit for that. So, yeah, that was weird. But, he's ultimately is because he's upset.
You're upset, but you have your new wife here and all of that. Just ignore her.
Well, okay, it's easier said than done. She is annoying and she's across from us. So you said ignore her. I mean, God, come on now. I'm not the one who showed up drunk.
Yeah, but at the end of the first of all, I think that is ignored way too much. Her friends should have carried her out of there. Like Mr. Pastor's assistant, Captain Dental Dam, he should have went over there and he should have is when he was trying to take the pastor somewhere in the car later on in the episode, he should have been offering to take Naomi home because she definitely put some stank on the event. She stunk the place up, okay? But then we realize, then Javon jumps in because Naomi is going back and forth with Franklin and the wife. So Javon is like, oh, you know what? You got some beautiful women. Let me take some pictures. We learned that he's actually a lawyer just like Naomi, but you talking about being a photographer. He's doing all this because he easily notices that Naomi is full of herself, image-wise. She thinks she all that. So he's like, let me play into that so I can get her to ignore what's going on and stop ruining this event. So she is so conceited that immediately caught her eye when he was talking about he was going to take some pictures of her. That was, I don't know. I mean, it was a good play, but it was also really corny to me. But it is what it is. Like, so what are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thought initially is with what you just said. You like it, but now you don't like it.
No, I like it. I'm saying it's corny because the fact that it works so easily on her is just like.
So, see, what are you? You're attaching corny to him and not her.
No, her. It's her.
Okay, so
corny is her.
So you like the fact what he did. You don't like that it worked on her.
Well, the fact that it worked is what's corny. Is what I'm saying. Like the fact that it was smart that he thought it up, but the fact that that's something that worked on her is like, girl, what?
So again, I just want to make sure I'm clear that you're directing all of that.
She's corny.
Okay. Period. It had nothing to do with him. He
point and the period. She is corny. But so then we have Franklin. He gets up on the stage. There's this painting up there. Okay, so they're auctioning off this painting. Long story short, the painting belonged to Naomi's. The painting was done by Naomi's now late brother. The brother apparently had substance abuse issues, things like that. So Franklin gets his I can't even say what. It's not 6. Is it 6 minutes in? Franklin gets his lame Bama ass up there. And he told me something, yeah, this painting, I'm just so happy to get rid of it. Like, it is just, I don't even care. Like, the person that did it was a drug addict, and then my wife, like, she's my ex-wife, she's put me through so much, and her drug addicted brother did this picture. Like, it's worthless to me, but now in death, it's worth way more than it was when he was alive. Now it's worth, $1.5 million, but he was a heroin addict. Why didn't his friends, first of all, Jefferson, the pastor, this is your church. And you allowing this man to coon his way all the way through this speech up here. That's some real coonery and some fugazi bullshit that he did up there. There is no way that I'm going to be in front of a good church house full of people, and I'm supposed to be this wealthy man, and I'm up here acting like this. I would never want to do business with him. I would never want to do. You supposed to be like this very prominent businessman. Nobody would ever want to deal with you acting like that. And I don't care how much disdain you have for Naomi. There's a level of professionalism that you need to maintain at all times. And you get up there talking about her brother like that, talking about her like that, and she's right there. You look like a clown. And there is no way that his friends or Jefferson shouldn't have hopped up there or stood up and said, "Hey man, okay, thank you for telling us about the painting, but let's just go ahead and start the bidding process." He should have shut him up and told him this is inappropriate. Then they start the bidding process, and he told us some. Let's start it off at $5. Then he was like, you know what? Let's just. Somebody says $10 or something like that. He was like, all right, that's good. And then Bridget says $50,000. So he gets upset that Bridget puts her paddle up for $50,000. And he said, well, you know what? If you want it so bad, if somebody wants it so bad, maybe you'll pay, I don't know, $37 million. Because he's so upset that he had to pay Naomi $37 million that he's looking at her like, go ahead and pay $37 million for this painting so I can get my money back. Why would she put her paddle up and say that? What are your thoughts on this whole scene with this clown coon ass nigga?
You said it all. It's lame. It's lame. Guys wouldn't respect. Guys don't respect that. That was corny.
What would you do if your friend was up there doing that?
You do just exactly. You stop. You get up there. All right. Again, come on. Like again, guys that I know, I would like to think wouldn't do that. But if they did, you obviously step in, intervene. There's a way to play that off. Everybody's charisma is different, but you have to play it off. Keep pushing because it makes everybody look bad. So yeah.
Yeah, you look real crazy. Thank you, LaQuanda Govan, for joining us. Sorry, y'all, I can't see the comments on the screen up here, so I have my other phone in my hand, so I can't put y'all comments on the screen, unfortunately. But I will shout y'all out from when I see the comments come up in my phone. We have 10 people in the chat. Please like the video, y'all. Please like the video. It gets us out into the algorithm so more people can come and join the discussion. I know right now a lot of people are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, but we would love for some people to come in and talk to us about this as well. So after Franklin comes down, and we appreciate you all for watching. So Franklin comes down off the stage after doing his, repertoire of bullshit up there. So he's talking shit, gets down off the podium. Then he's cackling with his wife off to the side, like, that peasant over there. Like, just like basically just looking down on Naomi. And Naomi is pissed off because at this point her friends are looking at her and, trying to console her because she's upset because he brought up all that stuff about her brother, and Naomi was super close to her brother, but unfortunately he passed away. So she gets so enraged that Franklin and his wife are over there laughing and cackling. She's like, you know what? I'm ready to get out of here. So she gets up like she's getting ready to leave. They had brought her a pot of coffee earlier because she was so blitzed and blazed and drunk. They were like, get her some coffee, and they kept trying to get her to drink the coffee so that she could sober up. And she does this ratchet, gross thing where she sticks her tongue in the coffee. Man, William, old freak ass, I'm going to watch you, William. Because you're a good guy, but you're talking about, oh, well, that's one way to do it. When she stuck her tongue in the coffee.
Trying to lighten the mood.
William, you a freak. We going to learn what you do with the yoga lady. But anyway.
Hey.
So Naomi has the bright idea to pick up the pot of coffee and throw it on the new wife's back.
She requested it extra hot.
She asked for it extra hot earlier. I feel like I think that she was going to do that all along. What you think?
Nah. She didn't want the coffee to begin with. So how premeditated could it be when they were like, get her some coffee? She was like, no.
Oh, T is in the building, giving you the real tea. I love him. He is he he the one with the fans that I be watching on
Okay.
YouTube. He said,
Salute.
"Oh, this show must be T if the hubby joining in. I can never do this with LaFonz. He is too stupid. Shout out to y'all. He is hilarious. Thank you for watching T. T must have just finished his Real Housewives of Atlanta review. But thank you. So yeah, so she throws this hot ass coffee on this woman's back. Mind you, you're an idiot now, Naomi, because now they can sue you. Because you definitely did this in the front of a whole bunch of people. You did it to be malicious, and you this was something that could have been premeditated. You could have been thinking about this all along, asking for the coffee and all of that. It wasn't self-defense, none of that. And you got third degree burns on this lady, and some of it got on the pastor. So you got several people in this room that could sue you for that 37 million. That was very dumb on your part. I wouldn't, first of all, I wouldn't give a fuck about what he doing with this chick. We are no longer together. Let me to gather my riches and go ahead and move on with my life. That's a great gift to move on with your life with. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I would not be doing that. So everybody disperses. Bridget takes William home because Geneva's old skeeting and cheating ass. She want to act like, because they got to get Naomi on up out of there, because she got locked up at this point. They gonna take her ass to jail. So because Franklin didn't call the police on her, so she down. I ain't see no cops come in, but apparently she went to jail. I don't know how that happened so fast, but anyway, Rashida goes in the back to have a conversation. Naomi and everybody decides that William is going to go home. So Bridget takes William home, which is Geneva's husband, right? Then Javon stays there because he's a lawyer as well, and he knows judges. Him and Geneva going back and forth on who knows a judge the best to get Naomi to see the judge because it's the weekend. So, child, it's a mess. But Geneva, you just wanted to make sure that Javon wasn't going to be on. That Geneva, no, what's her friend name?
I just know what
Tiffany.
Yeah.
You want to make sure Tiffany wasn't going to be on Javon's pogo stick. So Tiffany decides to stay with Geneva and Javon to go down to the courthouse to see what's going on. So I'm like, Tiffany, why you here? Is this a continuance of the date for you?
It's still my friend. It's my friend too.
Well, yeah, I guess she is the closest because Geneva and Rashida seem to be the closest, and Tiffany and Naomi seem to be close too, and Bridget is kind of like the middle friend.
Either way, we closer. I don't want to see you in jail.
Yeah, but child, T says, no, I'm doing mine tomorrow morning. Scotty doing his tonight at 10:40 though. Oh, okay. So Scotty about to be on live. Oh, okay. And he said, not skeeting and cheating. My God. Yeah, skeeting and cheating with her cheating lying ass. Okay. So in the meantime, Javon, did we skip the part where they all went in the back?
Yeah.
We did? Oh, let me see. Because they all went in this was when they, oh, I wanted to bring up this important part. So everybody, this before Geneva and Javon and everybody get in the car to roll out. The pastor's assistant, okay, the whole time the assistant is sitting over there with the pastor and friends, all the couples. But I didn't even know he had a wife. The wife is in the room with everybody at this point when they're trying to figure out where they're going and what they're going to do to go and help Naomi. So the assistant is like, Pastor, what you need me to do? I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to, yeah. And then the wife is standing there like, well, what the fuck? Am I just chopped liver? What the hell? He was like, well, somebody take my wife home. Yeah, go on. Like, he didn't give a damn about his wife. He was going to be with the pastor to drive him around. And Rashida was like, we don't need you to drive him nowhere. We'll ride together. We're going to go up to the hospital and see what's going on. First of all, Rashida didn't even want to go to the hospital. She wanted to go see about her friend Naomi. And Jefferson was pissed because he's like, why would you want to go check on Naomi? She's the one that ruined this entire night for us. And we supposed to be getting this money from Franklin. And now we probably not going to get the money for the new church from Franklin because your dumbass friend then threw some coffee on his wife. Now we got to deal with some legal issues probably because this shit happened at our damn event. Now, what do you think about Rashida making the choice to stay with him instead of going to go check on her friend?
So, so I think he was right in her. They should have gone to the hospital, but his motives were wrong. Like I'm thinking that he's doing it more so for the money, that type of thing, versus I'm doing it because like we should be doing this because your friend who you know to be a loose cannon showed up. You advocated to have her sit down when I told you to get Goofy up out of here. She does all of that, and after that, you're still going to side with the woman who you knew was going to fuck the money up. I'm telling you, she about to fuck the money up, and even still, you want to ride with her instead of like I got burned, your husband got burned, and this woman got burned. So I think she should have gone to the hospital.
Yeah, I'm glad she went to the hospital too. But I wish that she had have taken more accountability in that moment, her and her friends in that room, because none of them should have let her come in there. They should have said, you know what, we should have listened to you, Jefferson. We should have never let her come in here. That would have been my. I would have had to cop a plea at that point because at this moment, Rashida, you still adding on and on and on. You holding on to this grudge that you feel like you right because you still mad at Jefferson for some shit that you was mad at him about earlier, and you're now adding this on top of the stack, and it's like, but you wrong, sis. You should have never let her. You know that your friend is grimy. You know that she is a head case. She trifling. I would have never let her stay. So back in the Batmobile, we got Bridget driving William home. Okay, William is being the nice guy that he is. This is Geneva's husband. He's taken up for Naomi in some sort of way, like, oh, that was real messed up what Franklin did. He shouldn't have went up there talking about her brother like that. He's like, I'm excited about going to Italy with Geneva. I hope Javon and Tiffany really hit it off well. Like he's going over all these positive scenarios and just being the good guy that he is. And Bridget is like classic William, always making the best out of everything. How do you do that? I'm just like, William, are you going to disappoint us? And the whole time you fucking the yoga lady and having her do stretches that, put her legs behind her head and touch her toes and your balls at the same time. I don't know. Are we going to find out that that's what you're doing behind the scenes?
Would he be wrong?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure let's get that on record that if he did, by all other accounts, he seems to be a good guy, but he has had relations with the yoga teacher.
Too long's gonna make it right.
I'm not saying that. I'm asking your perspective because.
Well, that's me outside looking in because I know what she has done.
That's what I'm saying.
But he don't know.
I'm saying, I asked you, is he wrong if he was doing that? By all other accounts, meaning that he's not out here embarrassing you in the streets. For all accounts, everybody's assuming that he's a nice guy, and he is a nice guy. He just is also having sex with a yoga teacher.
Ain't none of it right. Moving on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
So Javon, Tiffany, and Geneva are in the car. Oh wait, real quick. William asked Bridget what's she doing with that young dude, and he was like, "Oh, I know what you're doing with him." I don't know what Bridget doing with the young dude either. But Bridget makes a comment that if it don't work out between Tiffany and Javon, maybe she'll try Javon.
Well, for hold, the dude brought it up. William or whatever brought it up. He suggested it, so it wasn't like she thought about it. And she was like, what, like one of those, and then he said, listen, if it don't work out, I think, you should give him a shot. So she said, okay, that's different than what you just said.
But why? But why is William trying to pass his friend around all of Geneva's friends?
So
do you think William knows that Geneva and Javon fuck?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because if you do, you don't speak like this. Guys don't operate like this. I know you slept with my wife. This is what? That no, never. And what if I thought that my wife has a group of eligible, attractive, all these type of things that guys say they want in a woman. I mean, I wasn't naming them, by the way. But the things that guys say they want in a woman, he feels like his wife's friends are those things. So why wouldn't he be like, listen, if it didn't work out with her, don't let that ruin the whole bunch. Maybe this one might be good.
I don't know. Thank you for joining in the chat, Black Orchid. She says hello. Hello to you. Thank you so much for watching. Listen, Bridget, just go and find you somebody else. You need to leave the little young dude alone too. It's all silly. But let's move on to Rashida and Jefferson in the car. This is what I really want to talk about, y'all. And we're going to dive into this one, okay? I think Rashida is annoying. I'm going to just go ahead and lay it flat out for y'all. And a lot of y'all probably not going to like that. But Rashida is annoying. You're not thinking about this is where as a woman, I have a lot of guy friends that say that I probably should have been a man because I think differently a lot sometimes. But yes, they say that you're my husband, so obviously I'm gonna be different when it comes to you.
Okay,
but we have conversations where my mindset, they get, they're surprised that I'm aligned with them a lot of times.
My apologies.
For the most part, this conversation was dreadful to me. I feel like Rashida was being very nagging, being very annoying, and this was a time where she could have had. I think that sometimes women, when we're trying to have a conversation with our man, somebody got to be the bigger person, right? And if you on 10 with him, you're not going to get the response that you're looking for. You also don't want to be passive aggressive. That is very important too. So in this moment, this man, mind you, Jefferson got burnt too. Coffee got on him. So in this moment, he's trying to tender his emotions because he's like, I just got burnt too. And not only you didn't care about the WP girl that got burnt up, you don't give a damn about me either. You didn't even check on me. The first thing you did was go and check on your friend that caused all the shit. I'm your husband. I'm your man. And you didn't even come over here to see what the hell I had going on. You didn't check on me. Then you get in the car and want to nag the fuck out of me. Like it's too much. We not at this point in the car, they need to be talking about how to run interference because let's make sure we don't get sued in this moment because this is at our event. We let her come in here, sit at the table. We gave her the fucking coffee, by the way. You brought your officer of our church, a person that works at our church, Bridget. She's the one that brought this hot ass pot of coffee out here to a person that we know is unhinged. And now we could be liable and at fault. They not talking about that. She's talking about something, you don't listen to me, and this and the third, and you should have told me. Now, I agree with her here. He should have told her that Franklin was coming. I don't care if it was last minute or not. Now, he said, that's fair. You're right. And she's like, you don't mean that. I can't stand when women do that. And I can't stand it, and I can say I have done it. Like a lot of times my husband will say something, and I'll be like, no, it's not. You're not saying that for real. But sometimes he is being an asshole, and he will say things in a way where it sounds like he lying. You need to stop doing that.
First of all, see, are you supposed to take me at what I say or how you feel about what you think I say?
Brittany is in the building. What's up, Brittany Janae? She says, "Hey, my beautiful friend in chat. What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for joining."
She's talking to you or me?
She's talking to me.
Okay.
Go ahead. What you say?
I was saying that, are you going to hold me accountable to what I say or how you feel about what you think I said? That's okay. Well, the problem here is that.
Well, here's what I will say. I will say, I need to hold you, because we ain't gonna make this about us. Let's take it.
You said you brought it up.
I did it, but what I will say is, I will hold you. I will pay more attention to what you say, but I will, if I'm feeling some type of way, I do need that open door to be able to express. But I feel like is this, am I tripping by feeling like this? Like if I'm feeling like you're saying something to be sarcastic.
Now, if you said it like that, that's different. You say, am I tripping? But like, are you really trying to, if you came in it like that, that's one thing. But if you
that's what I'm saying. I will do it like that.
If you say it like that, that's cool. But if you come out assuming that I'm being a certain way, then now
then that's a problem, because then that's a Rashida.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. See how we just talked that out? That's what I'm talking about. This Rashida and Jefferson situation with them talking back and forth, it ends up, they go from talking about Naomi being a terrible person to then talking about the son at school and the bad grades, and Rashida talking about they ain't doing the booty enough. It's just like, why is this the time to talk about this right now?
We're in the car. You said last episode or something. We're in the car. It's just the two of us. Like, when else would we get a chance to talk? You can't escape to say that you want to do it after you get from the gym or something like that. We locked in the car. Why not get all of our grievances addressed? So what's the problem with doing it right here? Like, I don't have a problem with doing that.
It's the thing is, it's a right place. It's a right place and a right time for certain things, in my opinion. I feel like y'all tensions have already been high. She was arguing with him on the way there. Your friend caused turmoil where now y'all could possibly get sued. Then now you continuing on the nagging in the car. It's too much. At some point, somebody got to have common sense to be like, all right, let's table this, because I'm getting tired of listening to my own self bitch and moan.
Do you think it would have worked out well if he said, you know what, it's been a long night. Can we table this, because like I don't want to get this beat. Do you think that would have gone over well with her?
He said that. He asked her to he said, listen, can we just talk about this at another time? We got to go up here. We got to figure out what's going on with her. We got to still figure out how to get this money type of stuff. And she's like, but you're not listening to me. And we don't do this. And we don't do. She nagging about a whole bunch of stuff that don't happen. She's saying the same thing over and over and over again. And here's the thing. I get it as a woman, because we've had situations where I feel like I'm telling you the same thing over and over again, and you're not changing. Yeah, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But and you have expressed that, like, I feel like I'm saying this over and over, but you're not changing. And that's okay. But there is a certain time to say that stuff, not after such a traumatic situation that's just happened at the church. Like, this ain't the time to be talking about our past lives. What I would have liked to see from this situation is, listen, you know what? This ain't the right time to talk about this, but we are obviously not getting along right now. We're having some serious issues. And what I would love to do is for us to table this. And we need a therapist. I know you want to look perfect for the church and all of that, but I'm going to schedule us, put in your calendar some time away from your assistant, so that we can go to therapy.
Now, was that a jab at me?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
just making sure one of those passive aggressive things you were talking about.
Because the assistant, yeah.
You just said that you don't like women being passive aggressive.
Well, they brought up the fact that the assistant was, she sees the way the assistant looks at her.
That's perfectly fine. I'm saying you just said don't be passive aggressive.
Well,
and then on your way out, let's go to that. Oh, by the way, ask your whatever buddy's name is. If you can kind of weasel some time away from him, that'll be
I'm not
Plus,
perfect.
okay.
But the assistant had it coming. He want to slob on
But you
Jefferson's
threw me
knob
in the
real
mix.
bad.
You threw me in the mix as a result of trying to hurt him.
And he threw his wife at another table so that he can massage your dick under the table.
She had COVID. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
No, she didn't. If she had COVID, she shouldn't have been. Don't say that. You're supposed to say C-19. If she had all that, she shouldn't have been there.
Try telling the woman something.
Whatever. Moving on. Her blue dress. She was looking just as confused too. So they going back and forth in the car about a whole bunch of bullshit that don't have nothing to do with nothing right now. Like they got bigger fish to fry at this moment than to be talking about, how to solve world peace. Okay. It's too much. It's just too much. She just piling on and on. She's emotional at this point. He is this when he asked her if she was going through menopause?
Sure, that discard rider was it? No, I think it was
it was the previous one.
I think it was the previous.
She going through something, child, because it's too much. I'm annoyed, and I'm like, God damn, sis, shut the fuck up. You annoying me. I don't even want to talk about it right now. Shit. But moving on, we go to the booty house, aka jail, and Geneva and Javon and Tiffany are there, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with Naomi. They're making calls, apparently, to figure out what's going on. So they're sitting there. Javon and Tiffany are kind of flirting back and forth. Geneva is obviously upset. Like she is just pissed off. Even at the table, she kept on because Naomi was like, "Oh, are y'all together?" And she telling Naomi, "No, they're not together." First of all, why are you talking? You speaking too fast, and you giving yourself up. Like at this point, if I'm William, I'm hit. I'm like, well, bitch, are you fucking up? Why are you so worried about? You've been all up in Javon's grill and worried about what the hell going on with him and Tiffany since we've been here. What say you and that puss? Like what the girl? What? So then they in the jail. William calls because he gets home and he relieves the nanny, and he calls Geneva on the phone. So he's talking to Geneva. And he says, I just wanted to let you know I'm home, and I just wanted to let you know I'm going to wait up for you or whatever. She was like, no, you don't have to do that. Don't wait up for me. And I'm like, you got a fucking attitude with this man, and he checking on you. So then he says, all right, well, okay, I guess I won't wait up for you, but no, I'm gonna wait up for you anyway. It is what it is. And then she says, all right, bye. And he's like, hold on. Remember, when we first met, he was going down. He was like, that dress you had on tonight, it reminded me of, when we first met, or one time we were going, he was reminiscing. And she was like, I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. All right, bye. I was like, you bitch.
You cannot love a woman.
You bitch. Wow. I'm like, this man is pouring his heart out to you. He's calling to check on you because he genuinely loves you. And you over here, Inspector Gadget, all in Javon and Tiffany's mouth. It's like you can't wait to bounce on his pogo stick when you drop Tiffany off. Y'all gonna get it in the back of the car? Is that what y'all gonna do? You can't wait to jump this man's bones. You acting like you don't want him, but it is very obvious that you want to fuck. You gonna let him blow that back out. And you trifling is all get up because it's good of a man as now. We haven't seen anything bad from William yet. And your friends have edified this man. Okay. They've been given the good go ahead. Like, this is a good dude. He's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. He is always on your side. Hell, he taking you to Italy. He doing all these things. He takes care of you. He got your back type stuff. And this what you over here doing? You can't even let the man compliment you properly because you all up and through Javon and Tiffany Stoke. What did you think about this scene? Because I was about ready to wring Geneva's neck.
Same. But again, when it comes, it's gonna be crazy, I guess, when it comes out, because wouldn't you have to say something like, I don't know when would you, if you were Geneva, would you say something to, what's her name, Tiffany? Like, wouldn't you have to say, like, what do we?
You gotta tell your friend. You gotta tell your friend, because at this point you look crazy. Like, you look real crazy because
And she
you're,
asked the question now, so.
yeah, like you if I'm Tiffany, I would need to know why. Number one, you all up in our conversation and you seem very disturbed
And really just because Buddy
by
is
us
allowed to
getting
say
along.
something. Was it Javon?
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously going to say something. He's already, oh yeah, I used to take pictures of so-and-so back in the day. You still got those photos, right? Like, he already doing too much. So you got to get ahead of it before he says something.
Yeah, but she had an attitude with Tiffany in the car talking about, I don't like all this small talk.
Yeah, well, it's
I'm
because,
like, why are you so upset?
Because what can I really say? Yeah, he used to take pictures of me. Oh, what kind of pictures? What kind of pictures you think they were?
Yeah.
So.
Wait a minute.
We don't know what it was.
What does that mean?
Spready.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's why I can't really get into it. So I'm not. She's not wanting to have small talk about it because I don't want to have to produce these photos that this dude. Oh, where were y'all?
First of all, she wasn't gonna pull them pictures out anyway.
I can't, but I don't want to talk about it.
Let's make that very clear. But then Tiffany, like, girl, she just back there flirting. That's all she doing. So she's thinking, if I'm Tiffany, I'm thinking to myself, bitch, why you mad?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we all trying to make sure Naomi is good, but we all three of us in this car, like, you wanted to be a third wheel and come. Like, we could have went and handled this, but you had to be there. So, like, the fuck? Be all right with what's going on. You're doing too much. It's too much. So, back at the ranch, Bridget gets home. Oh, we got some more comments. Black Orchid says, and sorry y'all for everybody that's in the chat now. I can't see the comments on the screen, so I'm looking at my other phone so I can shout y'all out. So, Black Orchid says they are never talking about the real issues. All of their car chronicles have been in this one day, repeating the same thing over and over. Oh, you're talking about Rashida and Jefferson. Yes. They are constantly talking about the same thing over and over again because Jefferson, to Rashida's defense, Jefferson is not having the hard conversations with her. He's not willing to sort things out so that they don't have to keep having these conversations over and over and over again, which is tough. You gotta, as a married couple, communication is very key. Sometimes there are conversations that you like, I feel like we just talked about this. I'm tired of talking about this over and over again. But sometimes you may not have talked about it in a way where the other person understands you. And it happens with us sometimes where I think we communicate very well for the most part. I do. I feel like even when it's uncomfortable, we have the conversations and we at least find some sort of common ground, even if we're not going to agree. But I think we have a common person that sometimes, which it used to bother me in the beginning when I would be saying the same thing, but he ain't get it until his sister said it to him. But then I learned to appreciate, well, at least I have somebody that he gonna listen to that can communicate how I feel. Because sometimes when you hear your spouse saying it, you already mad and ready to get ignorant because you don't want to agree with what they're saying. You're not hearing them. But when you hear it from somebody else that can give a different perspective, you get it. And that's okay. I've learned to be okay with that. That used to bother me. So in this situation, Rashida doesn't have that. She's just constantly complaining and going on and on and on about shit. And he's just not listening to her because he's just tired of hearing it over and over again. But all in all, I feel like men fall short of this too. Sometimes just listen, deal with it, and move on. The more you keep on pushing it back, that's just making it snowball, and it's getting worse and worse. You back there smiling. What you got to say?
I'm smiling because it's usually you that did, like, it's stuff that I said that you didn't. You got to hear from somebody else. You got to hear from one of your friends, and I'm like, I said the same thing. Yeah, but it was the way you said it. It's always you who got to hear from somebody else. That's why I asked you.
No, you be having to hear your sister say it. just like last time with what you said in front of my friends.
That was one time. That was the
last
time.
There's a
no. That was
that's
the
just the
one.
most recent.
Lachey,
there's
Lachey, you gonna have me start? You want me to start documenting these?
Go ahead and document it.
I got you.
Cause I'm gonna tell the people the truth.
All right. Say to my YouTube channel.
Whatever. Miss B, that's me, is in the chat. What's up? What's up? She says, hey, hey, hey. And she also says the little girl alluded to what's going on. The pretty lady comment. Yeah. Something going on for sure. We're gonna see him hugged up and kissing on some lady.
How old is that girl again?
She's 5.
Okay, so let's put it in the
She
context.
know her daddy calling somebody pretty lady.
A 5-year-old.
That's
girl?
Inappropriate. You don't call nobody pretty lady.
Let's say she had pretty lady on her name tag. I don't know what's going on. She had pretty.
Well, we gonna figure it out. Black Orchid says Geneva is for sure focused on Javon and Tiffany, but keep in mind she is still mad at William because of the pretty lady. It's still the same day. Yeah, that's true, but also Geneva is. I think she's projecting because you were doing old boy dirty. So you are thinking about what you were doing, and now it's on site, with him because he is obviously doing this after you heard your 5-year-old. I will agree, 5-year-old daughter say he said pretty lady. Like, ask him first. Get to the bottom of it. You then went up there and played Inspector Gadget at the school, breaking and entering, about to cost this man his job so you can come in here and get this lady's name, and it probably ain't even her. For all you know, she's doing too much, and you're not willing to have a conversation with your husband. You just sat there mad at him while y'all was getting dressed and didn't even ask him what's going on. She should have said, so who is pretty lady? Like, just come out and say that. Like, you up here playing this emotional gymnastics with him. That's annoying. I don't like that. Let me just go ahead and say what's going on. Cause you, I'm so glad I'm not a man. Cause a woman will come at me with that shit, and I'd be like, oh, all right, well, you got an attitude. I'm gonna let you go ahead and have that. I'm gonna head on out. I'm gonna go do my thing. Cause obviously you don't want to talk. You ready to say something? You got something in your head you want out? Oh, okay. If you ain't gonna let it out, let's just go ahead and I'm gonna get on up out of here.
You would appreciate a guy saying that to you?
Yes, because now you're wasting my time.
You say you're wasting my time.
How?
Because that's not what you would ever receive.
No, sometimes, what are you talking about? I do that to you?
No, obviously not. What I'm saying is that if I said to you exactly if I was a guy, I'd say this to the female. You'd be just like.
But I don't do that though. Do I? Do I do that?
Do what? Being someone who has not said something outright, has just come out and said it, had kind of bottled it up and
if you ask me, Lachey, what's wrong? I didn't say my whole name. You say, Shay, what's wrong? What's wrong with you?
And you tell me that you haven't said nothing before, and I said.
But do I do that and like I'm begging you? Do you feel like you have to pull shit out of me? So, you feel like that?
Hear me out. Obviously,
no, for real. I'm asking you a serious question. Do you feel like you got to pull stuff out of me?
Allow me to speak, and I'll say exactly.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that, one, I've known you for a long time, so you weren't always the piece of schmitz you are right now. So yes, there were times, like there were growing pains, and that was one of them. Absolutely. Where wouldn't you agree that you would hold things?
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. So let me say this. Let me clear this up. The reason why that annoys me, and I can identify with it because I used to be like that. That's what I'm saying. Now, current day, no, 100%. I don't feel like I'm like that.
But we're talking about
because I've grown and I've learned.
Right, but that woman that you were, if I were to do exactly what you say you would have done as a guy to somebody acting like that, you wouldn't appreciate that. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a person that hasn't grown. But I'm talking about for me now, I'm not going to create the environment where you have to do all of that. So that's what I'm saying. So I can't give you an opinion on a woman that thinks like that because I'm no longer her. Because now that's not appropriate. That's a waste of my time. I got so many other things I could be doing versus sitting here playing emotional gymnastics with you and emotionally manipulating you into begging me for my thoughts. That's stupid. If I'm upset, I'm obviously sitting over here pissed off. I'm gonna go ahead and let this out. I'm not about to hold on to this by myself. We're gonna have a conversation, player. Let's do this.
I have no problem with you come out saying, who was this pretty lady that?
Yeah, like I'm gonna. That's what I'm going to do because I want to know.
I'm with it,
and I'm not going up to the school and harassing the janitor.
Well, it's not yet. Find out what I say first, and then you can decide.
Yeah, then I'm gonna go harass the janitor. I'm gonna ask you first.
That's cool.
Child, why did this become about us? What the hell was we talking about?
You brought it up. If I was her, I would have. I mean, if I was a guy, I would have. And I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can't stand that. And even when I see it with my friends, when they be playing emotional games with their dudes, I be like, girl, you are annoying. I will leave you. I cannot, and I will not. But moving on. We were talking about Geneva when we said that. Oh, Linda Gamble is in the building. The hardest working woman on YouTube streets is here in the building with us. Thank you so much for joining, Miss Linda Gamble. Linda Gamble says, hey, Shay Renee. And then she says, hello to Brittany Janae. Reality with Diva D says, he and Pastor Junior got a thing. Child. Let me say this. I don't think that the pastor is geeking on the assistant. I think the assistant is geeking on the pastor. And the pastor is choosing to turn a blind eye to it. That's what I think. But we're going to see how it play out. I don't think he boinking the assistant, but I think the assistant definitely got a little sugar in his tank, for sure. Reality with DVD says passive, but he ain't innocent. Yeah, he's definitely not innocent, for sure. I don't, if we talk about William, I don't think William is innocent, but we're gonna call him innocent till proven guilty. Erica Fielder says Javon Grimey, Geneva definitely projecting. She is definitely projecting. For sure, for sure. So we get to the next scene, and this is where Jefferson, I'm gonna go ahead and lead you to the wolves right here. Because you get to the hospital. Okay. He gets to the hospital. Franklin comes out to greet Jefferson and Rashida and the assistant pastor guy. Okay, the assistant pastor that sent his wife home because he don't give a damn how she get home. He got to be up here to sniff the pastor's left and right ball and make sure the powder is still under there to keep them candy coated for him to, glaze them up later, hopefully in his dreams. So Franklin comes out there. And he immediately just like, he's like, oh, thank you for coming. You ain't have to do that, but it's all because of, that bitch, Naomi, and this, that, and the third. And Rashida was like, say what? Say, huh? I know you ain't calling my friend. And he was like, well, none of this would have happened if your friend wasn't doing what she did. She came in here and was projecting, doing stuff on people. So they going back and forth. And he's like, she always doing stuff to me. And Rashida was like, no, you guys do stuff to each other. He's like, you need to tell her to stop. She said, no, I'm telling both of you to stop because this is too much. So they go back and forth. And Rashida is pretty much putting a mirror up to his face, telling him, listen, if you stop fucking with her, then she won't have no choice but to stop fucking with you. Y'all both are messing with each other. Now, here's where I got pissed off. And I was about to smack Jefferson through the screen because he says, Jefferson, yeah, get your bitch. And Rashida was like, I got your bitch. And Jefferson did not say a word. He did not check his friend, nothing. Now, I am a firm believer and not being that woman that starts arguments amongst men. I can't stand women that be running their mouth and be like, and my man gonna get you. I don't feel like Rashida was doing that at this point. I think she was defending herself and she was sort of defending her friend, but also defending the truth because both of them are very immature. And Jefferson didn't say to his friend. And that's not the last time that he didn't check Franklin. What are your thoughts on that situation in the lobby? What would you have done?
So obviously, somebody talking crazy to you, like that's not gonna go down. Obviously, I can't. Come on now, that goes without saying. So obviously, I would have checked him for that. But Jefferson calling her, like his ex-wife would be. I don't really have a problem with that. Like, girl burned up my wife. I mean, that's how. If I view her as a B, it is what it is. So I don't have a problem with him saying that. I have a problem with now when you said both y'all were doing stuff back and forth with each other, Naomi and whatever's got Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say she started it. She's the one. Remember, trying to sue for. She got her money that you said. Take your $37 million and go on and do all that type of stuff. She's still making feelings, or she's still egging on. So I would say that.
No, but he's doing stuff too because.
What did he do before then?
When he was up there doing his little speech.
I said before then. That was after. So after
no, he alluded to how he's like the fact that he asked for that painting, the fact that he asked for her wedding ring back.
Yeah, she started.
The fact that he asked for those earrings back.
Yeah.
In the divorce.
Yeah.
No, it's not about her starting it. This is in your divorce proceedings. You're asking for this stuff. Why are you doing? You're doing stuff to torture her. You're watching her. You're doing stuff. So he's doing stuff to her too. Both of them are doing very immature things. No, I'm not taking nothing off of her because she's doing the most as well because she's hurt. But being hurt is no excuse for the foolishness. But he is participating as well.
I would say that as well. So that goes without stating. Let's say both of them are have a part in this. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, again, you're not checking my wife. You're not reading. Like, that's not happening on my watch. So, you obviously, the pastor should have stepped in, checked his man. Already, you should have done that. Now, I don't know what she was talking about. I got your bitch. I don't know what she would have done. So, I don't know what that really is about. Or, but maybe it was just I got your bitch as a cue for my husband to intervene. But
all he did was grab her and snatch her back instead of snatching his wig back. Because that would have been, ain't no way. Ain't no bitch, man, or child gonna sit up here and call my husband a bitch, and I'm not gonna do nothing about it. That's crazy.
So a guy calls me a bitch, and you're gonna hit him or something with it?
No, but I'm not. I'm not gonna make that seem okay. That's not okay.
100%. We agree that he.
I'm gonna be like, hold on now, because I mean, we ain't got to go blow for blow. But if it get there, you know, it is what it is. But if I'm not gonna stand here while another man, clearly you're not in the wrong, and or even if you are, and he's gonna stand here and call you a bitch, I'm gonna be like, hold on, wait a minute, player. We can handle this a whole different way. You go your way, we gonna go our way, but we ain't about to call each other names.
Right, so
there's a respectful way to diffuse a situation as well. But he could have respectfully told him, hey, listen, y'all can. I would have even respected him by saying, listen, y'all are going to have different opinions, but what we're not going to do is call my wife a bitch. Let's not call anybody. Let's refrain from calling each other names. How about that?
We agree that he absolutely should have intervened.
Yeah, he definitely should have done that.
And Franklin was in the wrong. Even though your wife is, down bad. Again, talking to a woman like that shouldn't have. You should have talked to the pastor's wife like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and according to her, he wasn't never going to get him no money anyway. So but this is after this. But anyway, we get Jefferson follows Franklin back to the hospital room. So they get back there in the room and Jefferson is talking and he's like, I thought about it, man. I can't give you this money because, just out there talking to Rashida, I just can't believe she would be friends with somebody like Naomi. I can't give money to people that are friends with somebody like that. Now, my thing is, Franklin, you wasn't. I feel like in this moment, you wasn't never gonna get him that money anyway. Because what's it to you who Rashida is friends with? Either you were going to give the money to the church or not. It doesn't matter who we're friends with. You knew I was friends with her before you brought your ass up in here, and even said you was going to offer the money. So why does it matter? And what does my friendship with whoever Tom, Dick, and Harry I'm friends with, how does that have any calling over your life? How is that going to change your day-to-day who my wife is hanging out with? Either you support this new building for the church or not. And even if, okay, so let's say, all right, I tell you we ain't friends with Naomi no more. How does that change things? Is that going to add money to your pockets? I could still be friends with her for all you know, because you are obviously not around enough to know what the fuck I'm doing. That whole scene right there doesn't make any sense to me, and it's giving a sense of control. And I feel like Jefferson is a bitch because there is no way that now you telling me, first of all, you call my wife out of, almost call my wife out of her name out here in the hallway. Then I come in here and you tell me that you're not going to give me the money. Then you trying to sun me and tell me who my wife can be around and who I shouldn't be around and who to what. Then you telling me and I'm not giving you the money. I would have cussed his ass out. I'd have been like, so hold on. That he right, you're not giving me the money, right? Okay. Then I'd be like, you bitch ass motherfucking nigga here. You will never call my wife a bitch, okay? And then you not gonna give me the money, you owe giving no,
Now
no,
you the
no,
fuck
no,
around
no.
and correctly putting the pause on.
Now I'm gonna whoop your ass in this hospital. And you gonna be laying in the bed right
now,
next.
So now you ready to fight?
Well, you about to be laying in the bed next to your burnt up ass wife. Okay,
you won't fight over
and
your wife.
You shouldn't have been fucking her anyway. You should have just divorced evil ass Naomi before you even got with this here. Okay, that's what you should have did.
Well, at least I turned my side chick, that woman that I cheated with. I shouldn't have cheated, but I did marry this woman, so I would say that would be I would say the grass is greener on the other side.
It's not.
How he married her?
We're gonna figure it out.
He married her. So it wasn't like he.
Well, he also said that Naomi has been trying to turn their son against him. I don't know I guess we're going to explore more of that at some point.
You think?
But they both are doing dirty stuff to each other. But at the end of the day, Jefferson is a bitch. There's no way I would be letting this gray haired fox come up here and no, you would not be sunning me like this. Not at all. And you're not going to tell me who the fuck to hang around. And have you ever given according to Rashida, he ain't never gave a donation to the church ever anyway. No. Anyway, so he daps up Jefferson and gives him a hug, and then Jefferson flinches, and he's like, man, you need to get that looked at. And Jefferson's like, I'll be all right. I'll be okay. And I'm like, child, you in the hospital. Get your tail looked at.
It's been a long night. I don't have the money. I'm gonna deal with an ear beating in the car on the way home, so I gotta deal with that. You know what? Fuck it. Let me just get home and I'd rather do that. I don't want to sit in this hospital anymore. I'm already doing bad, and I got an ear beating waiting for me. I don't think you understand that. So
I don't know, but I don't know what type of
deserved though, because he didn't stick up for herself. Just add that on to the laundry list of stuff that I'm gonna talk about on the drive home.
Yeah. So here we go. They get in the car, arguing again. Now, Rashida is right in this instance because he didn't defend her. Didn't defend her at all. So it's just like, wow. Wow. Yet again, you are giving me a reason to come for you with some more bullshit. So he says, well, he's not giving us the money now. And so then Jefferson says, well, you need to stop hanging around Naomi because she's not a good person. She not this, she ain't that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, Jefferson, Franklin is not a good person. Franklin cheated on his wife. Franklin had a baby with somebody before he left his wife. So what if Rashida told you to stop hanging out with him because you a pastor and you hanging out with somebody that is a known adulteress? How about that? Hypocritical are we? But it's okay because he was gonna give you. It's okay when he gonna give you some money for the church, and you mad that Naomi pointed out the fact that you talking about you need money for the church, but that's a $300,000 car outside that y'all riding in. Don't you think that's a little hypocritical? You in here asking for money, but you got an expensive car outside. What gives? I think what Tyler Perry is trying to do in that instance is bring light to pastors and their money, and are they taking money from the church or what? I don't know how all that stuff works out within the church, but it's a lot of pastors that's rolling in dough, but I digress. So moving on, he goes back and forth with Rashida still. They arguing in the car. They're not going anywhere with this argument. He's pissed off that they're not getting the money, and it's all because of Rashida and her friend. And he's like, you should just stop being friends with her, because maybe if you stop being friends with her, he'll give us the money. She like, I ain't fuck what you talking about. I'm gonna be friends with my friend. So they pull up to the house, Jefferson gets out the car and he doesn't open the door for Rashida for her to get out. So she's still in the car. And she starts crying to Mo, he didn't open my door for me. Now, you must be really catered to for you to have such a conniption over your man not opening the door for you. Because this one right here don't never open the door for
Don't
me.
do that. Don't do that. Oh, you talking about car door?
Yeah.
It's not never.
It ain't to the point where I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that's the difference because that's not abnormal, and also you take forever to get out of the car.
No, I don't.
Okay, so the problem is if these are the people that you're supposed to mess with, you got to keep it a bean. You absolutely do. You take forever. It's like you're unprepared because you're on your phone and you're not prepared. That's when I mean, come on now, you're never prepared. So I would be sitting outside of your car door, and you like stop rushing me. So that's not what we do. But apparently, for it to mean that much, that must mean that even though throughout the arguments, whenever they're mad at each other, it's that some people kiss before they go to sleep, no matter what. Mm-hmm. So it'd be one of those times where we get into it, and we always did it, no matter what. If we were angry with each other, we at least kissed and said, "I loved you, good night," or something stupid something like that. And I don't do it because we got into it earlier that day. You would be in your feelings about it. Mm-hmm. You've been in your feelings for far less than that. If he really cared about me, he'll come in here and he'll, what's something made up in your mind, some emotion based whatever. So yeah, it meant something to her because even when they were angry, he would still at least open the door for her, and he didn't. So it sucks.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is, y'all. She's still in the car. I wonder if she's still gonna be in the car in the morning time. Who knows? But it's crazy. Erica Fielder says TP better not have Devon playing like that. Pastor is too harsh with First Lady. I don't like it. Franklin is trash. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I don't think that Devon, I think his name is Devon Franklin. Is that his name in real life? He's a real pastor. So you know how the church feels about, yes, they are come as you are, but that's always been a contingent, like a off thing in the church, your sexuality. So I guarantee him being who he is in real life, I don't think he would compromise that playing that type of character. And I don't care how much money Tyler Perry is offering him. I would think that Tyler Perry, knowing that he's a pastor, you wouldn't try to put him in that type of controversial position. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that ain't the case. That's why I said if that man is looking at him like that, I don't think there's any reciprocity. So, ciao. But who knows? Linda Gamble says 16 likes and 16 in the chat. Okay, perfect. We had it lined up. Miss B, that's me, says you can tell Javon is the type that holds his money over other people's head. He feels he can talk crazy to anyone. Oh, you talking about Franklin? Yeah, Franklin. Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that is large and in charge. He was just talking about some big deal that he closed before he got there, and it was worth $5 million or something like that. So I think that he uses his money to control people. And I think that Naomi is selfish. I think that she's been used to this lavish lifestyle that she's had with her husband. And now that, you got to pretty much try to maintain that with this 37 million and figure out how to make that multiply on your own. I think she's struggling with that. And he sees her for the selfish individual that she is. I think he's coming off harsh, but there may be some good parts of him because he talked about philanthropy, how kind-hearted his new wife is. I think we're going to learn that there's some parts of him that he, learned more about himself after leaving Naomi, because I feel like Naomi is just toxic. She's just, we're going to learn as we continue to watch, I guess. Brittany Janae says, Franklin, hold on. Reality with DVD says, that was kind of quick for the coffee lady to get the second hand earrings. Yeah, like, that's what I was saying in our last interview. Our last review. How'd she get the earrings so fast?
When he talks.
But she threw the earrings. So then that means they had to look for those earrings real fast and get them to them so that they could stunt at the event. We're real crazy, but good looking reality with DVD. Brittany Janae says Franklin would have came up missing. Child, that part. Okay. Rose Armstead says, hey, Shay, Renee, and Chad. What's up, Rose? Thank you for joining. How you bees? Black Orchid says they have been friends for 20 years, so he had no intentions in giving anything. And see that part. If they've been friends for that long and you ain't gave no money yet, Jefferson knows. You know your friend's intentions. And if you don't know by now, you're choosing to be blind to it. Because if Franklin and Jefferson been friends for 20 years and he's never given to the church before.
At the very least, what you're ultimately saying is Rashida was right. She would know whether or not he was serious about giving money. Has he ever given money before? It doesn't seem like it. So
yeah. So you're delusional. Javon, Ms. B, that's me, says Javon doesn't want Naomi to have any support or friends. Franklin doesn't want Naomi to have any support or friends. Yeah, and that's crazy because if I'm Franklin, we're divorced. My goal was to leave you because you were irritating me. I didn't want to be with you. We're not aligned. We're not together anymore. I gave you your money. I have no more responsibilities to you. My hands are washed of you. So that's why her presence wouldn't even prickle my feather. It would not hurt me. I would pay her dust every time I see her. Keep living your life with your new wife. That's what I'm saying. Like when he has to dig and put scars on top of the wounds that are already there.
I'm at the dinner chilling with my wife.
He wasn't chilling.
Listen to me. At the function, when they're sitting down, everybody's having a good time before Naomi showed up, right? So
yes, but when she got there, I would have paid her dust. But the wife brings up the earrings. She brings up the earrings. And so everybody is like, and so then that gave Naomi rope to continue to hang herself even more. But that was what drummed up a conversation.
You make it seem like it's so easy to send her the dust or whatever you said.
I would ignore her. I'm sorry.
You know how hard it is to ignore someone. And what are you? And she's doing the most. I want to sit next to her.
Guess what? I'm here because I was going to donate, right?
Mm-hmm.
If your intentions were to donate, as soon as she came in and they let her sit down, I'd have been like, oh, you know what, Jefferson, this isn't my scene. You know, she's obviously inebriated. She's drunk. This is not going to be a good look for me. Me and my wife, you know, I would love to support you, but me and my wife won't go head on out.
I'll send you the check.
No.
So what do you think? So now, when I say I can't send you the check or something like that, then
you already said that in the hospital.
Well, that was later on.
So you're no stranger to saying no.
You're asking me to leave earlier on.
Yeah, but guess what? I would rather do that than engage her.
I'm saying I agree with you that back out and do that. Now, should he have to do that even when they know this was like we was having a good old time before she showed up? But
yeah, but okay, if Naomi leaves, then maybe I'll stay in my wallet too. But if she's still here, I can't do it. No,
either she leaves or I leave, and now how's that look?
Also, if you're friends, if I'm friends, if this is Tracy, mm-hmm. right? I go to her event. You there, double dog down drunk, and you always fucking with me, and I'm paying you dust and ignoring you.
How am I looking? No, don't do that.
I would leave, but I would say, look, Tracy, the $5 million I was gonna give you, I would have loved to stay and join the antics and the shenanigans of the event and eat the dinner and do all the stuff and kiss the babies and shake the hands. But I'm gonna go ahead and here's the check. I'm gonna go ahead and roll on out.
You don't want to rekindle nothing.
No.
Listen, it's me.
Let me tell you something. If I leave your dusty ass, I'm leaving.
Look at me in my face and say that.
Shut up. Don't leave and figure it out. How about that? Would you come groveling back?
You already know the answer to that.
What?
Would I come back groveling? What do you?
Would you try to come back to me? If I'm too busy looking good.
So wait a minute. In this scenario, who did something wrong?
You did.
Convenient. So in this scenario.
So you did something wrong. Mm-hmm. We divorced. We come to an event.
I think that.
I'm not drunk. We neither one of us drunk. We both in our right mind.
Are you with somebody new? Are you single?
I'm by myself.
You single? So I mean, you would want me to come up to you.
No, I didn't ask you what would I want you to do. I said, will you do it?
Would I come back and grovel? Nah. Because if we
not grovel, but would you think?
Would I try to get back?
Whatever. Back to the comments. You wouldn't try to get back with me
because we're already divorced. At that point, we
right.
gone
So
through
why would you?
mediation.
So why you think I should be trying to get you?
Because I'm showing up.
You showing
looking like,
up? You
hey,
showing up nothing?
let's dance real quick.
You showing up single, and you gonna leave single?
But when we dance,
no, I'm good. If I divorce you, I'm done, and you know this, man. Javon doesn't want Naomi to have any supportive friends. We read that. Rose Armstead is speaking back to Miss Linda. Gloria Lacey says Pastor DL is way too much.
That's hilarious.
I don't think he on the DL, Gloria. I hope. Let me just say, I hope he not. I hope not. I hope Tyler don't write it like that. Don't do him like that. You trying TD Jakes the man, or what people perceive as him. Listen, I don't know. This is alleged. I don't think TD Jakes out here busting open the booty doors.
All right.
Black Orchid says the son is 25 years old. He can make his own mind, make up his own mind. Well, he's supposed to be in high school. That's what they're saying, or college. I don't remember, but he's supposed whatever grade or age he's at, he's getting grades. So, child, I don't know. But she told him to talk to the son. Reality with DVD says, I believe Mr. Shea. Oh, when you were talking about me and getting out maybe when we were talking about me getting out the car or something. The whole getting out the car thing.
Oh, then definitely. Listen, I have no reason to lie about it.
Oh, child, we got to redo my hair. Let's see the sides right here. I got to stay this way.
It's too late now.
It's time to take my hair out, y'all. Don't look at that. Y'all two are so. Rose Armstead says y'all two are so cute, Shay Renee. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
He get on my damn nerves, but
you said that last night.
I was asleep last night. That's why I ain't saying
that. Won you?
You know what? Rose Armstead says. Gloria Lacey says to her it was symbolic that their marriage and respect was done. Yeah, I think she's talking about them getting out the car. Yeah, I agree. You know, that would have really hurt me too if that's something that we always did, and that just basically like you putting a fork in you putting a fork in the road of saying, all right, here's the thing, we got a problem, and I'm pissed off at you, and I don't care about when I open your door. I'm not doing it. So Miss B, that's me, says Devon is Megan Good's ex-husband. Yeah, that's why I know that. So that's why I'm like, I hope he wouldn't let Tyler Perry write him as no gay man, and he's a pastor. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that from that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I have an issue with the lifestyle, but knowing how people are in the church, you got to live beyond this show. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that happening. But hey, we'll keep on watching and see. Reality with DVD says Seventh-day Adventists, they're more liberal. Oh, okay, that's what he is. Okay, fair enough. Black Orchid says Franklin, yeah, we're going to see. Franklin sent that painting there on purpose, so he was not leaving the event. He wanted to embarrass her. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like with that painting, for him to auction that off, he wanted to embarrass her. Okay. So it's like they're doing stuff to each other.
Yeah, I mean, divorce can be bitter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, listen, I don't think he was happy to give him $37 million.
He wasn't, but you shouldn't have been happy. You shouldn't have been happy to be cheating and having a baby on her too.
100%.
But Gloria Lacey says he never intended to donate. He dangled the money like a carrot so they would choose him over Naomi. Right. And that's another thing. Like, why are you doing that? What satisfaction are you getting out of making these people choose you over Naomi? If you're done with her, I would be done with her friends too. And I would be done with their thoughts. I wouldn't care what these people think about me. You're rich. Who gives a shit about what gives? I don't care what these people think. Rose Armstead says, I totally agree with you at Gloria Lacey. Black Orchid says Naomi's son is 25 years old, and Franklin says she turned the son against him. Oh, okay. So they're Naomi and Franklin's son that's 25. She turned against Franklin.
If at 25 years old, come on now. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be right, he's grown up under the same household and regime. He can make his own decision. Try to reach out to him. If it doesn't work, fuck it.
Yeah.
What to do.
That's true. Well, That's it, y'all. We ain't got no more. We gonna take our tails to bed, okay?
No,
But
I'm
thank
not.
you. Where you going?
Cardi.
No, we not.
Thank y'all.
The party in the sheets. That's about it.
Hey.
Thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that is watching Divorce Sisters with us too. And I won't be a divorce sister, so I'm gonna go upstairs and be with my man. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Peace out.